Hello. Hello. How is it going? How's it going? Welcome back to yet another live stream. and Today we are going to continue working on our hash tables. Okay. So if we rebuild a project, um, so there are a couple of things in here that we have to change, I suppose. So as an example, I want to take ownership of this. Okay. Mm. Okay. So we look at our this thing in here. Well, it's a very simple hash table where you have buckets, which is more like it. Then you have the hash table in here. And you have the hash and things like that. But it's not quite, like um, it's not quite something that is more fun to do. So one of the things I want to do right now is like have this tokenization, I would say. All right. So like we need to figure out a way if we are doing this thing correct or not. That's one thing. So one of the things I would like to do is remove this guy. Remove this guy. And now oh, all right. Okay, so so that's one thing that I feel that has to be done, right? What does it say in the warning? Passing argument of free, discard const qualifier from pointer target type. That is fine because we have some time free, right? Isn't it? Okay. So one of the things we have done is that if we do malloc, I don't think it's gonna work as expected. So let's first run this. And okay, so there is some double free detected in the cache, but if I do that, well, it still works fine. Why is friend twice? Is the friend word twice? I have doubts. No, it is not. So this is wrong. So everything is coming as 2. Why is everything coming as 2? Doing is coming as 3. Okay. Everything is coming up a little bit extra. And why is that? Why is that? That is weird, right? Because is 0, friend is 0. How is 0? R is already coming up as 1. Definitely there's something wrong in here. Definitely there's something wrong in here. Hmm. I feel like okay. So let's do this again. I suppose. stdio dot h main. Okay. Void turn 0. Printf hello world. Okay, cool. So this works. This works. So what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna say type def uh, type def bucket is bucket. Okay. And then here struct bucket. This is just gonna have. So the thing here is how do I can I just say character key and unsigned long frequency, and then of course we also need next pointer. Type def struct. We have a bunch of buckets. Then we can have a size, right? We can have capacity, and that is it, right? That is it. We also need a load factor, but we have to think in terms of hello, Savali Satguru. Hello, how are you doing? How are you doing? I'm just trying to refactor this particular thing so that it's a little bit more easy to work with. So I'm working on that today. Okay. This here is this. So if you say make, what is the issue in here? Ah. Table in this. Cool. So now, one of the things you want to do in here is one of the things we want to do in here is so I want to see how SVB libraries are. Of course, this is not going to work. Yes, for some reason Chrome is crashing for me, but okay, that is fine, I suppose. Nothings. Can you show me an SVB library? How do you do SVB stuff? Sorry. Okay, how do you generally do an STP style library? how to do. Let me see if ChatGPT is logged in here. It is. It is. Well, okay, we will come to that later, I suppose. So right now, all I want to do is this. Okay. The next thing that I want to do in here is give me an example of HTTP style include header like with one method called sum. Code. How do you actually do that? Is the question. How do you actually do that? Aha, so you always include this, and I don't want to support C++, of course, but then in here you say this thing. Makes sense. Okay, makes sense. If not defined, how do you do that? Some age included and there's some implementation. So under implementation, your actual implementation goes through. Some age included would be like included. Okay. Okay. If not defined, at age included, then you define this. And in here, you would say and if this is for at age included. Right. So one thing we want to do is have certain public APIs, and the public APIs that we are going to look at is at init, where you don't take in anything, but you return back pointer to the hash table. Okay. Then you can have something called void at put. So here you can give it the key and sign long the flag. That is what you can give it, right? Then you can also have get. So here, of course, you don't need this. You don't need this. Here you have to say it is a it is a unsigned block, right? And also we can say void at evict. Yeah. So you say that void at free. You would be taking in, well, all of these should be taking in HashTable as a pointer, because you would be modifying it. HashTable as a pointer and HashTable as a pointer. HashTable as a pointer. Another thing we can do is void so we don't want to print right away as a public API, I think so. Yeah, maybe you'll see. Maybe we will see. So we're gonna first implement this thing. Right. So in here, define hash implementation, and if right. The question is, how do you define this? How do you define this, right? So of course, one of the things we have to take in is size capacity. Capacity. So in here, size capacity. So now we have to initialize this thing. And how do you initialize it? So last time we did malloc. This is exactly what we're gonna do. So we're gonna be using this. Wait a second. Why did it not copy? Also, why am I using this thing and not tmux? Because tmux is having issues. It's not working for me. I don't know why. A lot of things are having issues with after an upgrade tonight. So yeah. So this here would be capacity, and I have to cast it to pointer and just say hash table ht is this. So this here also, I probably need to zoom in a little bit for people to see. Okay, I can check on my phone if it's readable or not. I suppose it's readable now. Okay, cool. So hash table is this. If ht is null, we can simply return null. Okay. The other thing that we want to do also is we have to now create the buckets. Right, we have to now create the buckets. So how do you do that? Well, we can do calloc, and calloc taken, so we can copy paste this thing now. Right, so in here, this is number of members, so capacity, and in here is the size of one of the buckets, so size of bucket. And this here has to be bucket start. And this we can assign it in to buckets. Can you just type? Yeah, okay. To buckets. Next thing what I want to do here is that if ht buckets, not nuggets, buckets is null, we have to return null, but we do a little bit of memory leaking here. So we also got to free the memory for this thing, right? So free ht size is 0, ht capacity is capacity. Okay. So in here, of course, if capacity equals 0, capacity equals 16. We can simply say that. And just to look professional, uh, sorry, 4 is 16 right here. Just to look professional developers, not like roly-poly developers, we say 1. We don't say 16, we say 1 left shifted by 4. So if you pass in a capacity as 0, we would initialize the capacity as 16. Usually you can also throw an exception, but I don't think so. Like, you cannot throw exceptions in C, but you can do some sort of an error, you can do an abort and all of that. But if it's not allocating memory, it means at this point of time, if you're not able to allocate memory, it's a big problem. But even at that particular point, if you're like not crashing, it doesn't make sense to crash in here. So this is what my implementation would be. This is what my implementation would be. Oh, so an error. Okay, unknown types. Okay, so let's define new stdlib.h and see if that fixes it. That didn't fix it quite much. Oh, okay. Then there are a couple of warnings. Oh, my bad. So how do you do that? Aha. Okay, doesn't have a start, but in here, I think like we can say not to link with something, and I think the way to do that is so if I say add.c, this is still gonna save, but I think no link. How can you say no link? It's gonna crash for sure. So C code no link linker. Like, can you do that? Okay. So our dynamic executable, so we are good. This is what I was talking about. You can also say no standard library, prevents automatic linking of the standard libraries, stuff like that. But we don't need that in here. We should be good. We should be good. If the C++ and some, this is for providing support for C. So yeah. So if you have defined C++, then just when you say external C. So yeah, I don't think so. We're gonna do that because I don't want to learn how to do that yet. I want to learn how to do that yet. So this in here would be this. So let's do a main.c. Include svg IO h int main, and here we're gonna say hash init a capacity of 16, and I'm gonna say get back a hash table, which is a pointer, and I'm gonna say data. I'm gonna say print it as a pointer hash table and return. What is happening? Return 0. Okay, so you don't know hash table. So we can say here that include add.c. It does, but it cannot now link. These are linker errors, so we have to link it somehow. So I think I can say lib add.so, something like that, and I have to say you find the linker in this current position. Cannot do. Can I just say like this? No. How do you do it? Do I just say add.c? No. I don't do it like that also. How do you link with an SO file in C? How do you link with a SO file? Shared and things like that. I'm asking how to link. Okay. Hold on. DLL name. Yes. So this is what I'm exactly saying. So do I have to say that this is SO? I said it's an SO file, but I don't have to probably. Sorry, my bad. Oh, this is not Vim. Sorry. So I probably have to do it like that. No. -L DLL name. And then the folder. So I gave it the folder. But it is not kind of working. Awesome. Awesome threesome. It's not working. It cannot find this thing. What if I say like this? Okay. Now I think it found it, but it says, okay, so I probably have to also compile with this thing, right? So in here like this, or I have to say add.c. No, so -I is also this thing. So you include it in this way and you say this is add.c. How do you do that shit? I don't know. I have no clue how to do that shit. So let's go to this guy. So my file is combined to a shared object. Okay, so you can even copy paste this thing and say this is how everything. Now I wanna include this file in the main function, in the main program. I'm trying to do like cc-home main.c, include like this, link like this, and add dot s. It says, what does it say? Fix this linker error. Also, why does this linker error display? Don't just give flags. Explain what is the issue, bro. And how's everybody doing in the chat? How's everybody doing? I understand I started quite late today, but you're hitting undefined reference because the linker didn't find any compile signal in it in the car. Wait, what? Okay, so my linking was correct, but it didn't find anything in here. I understand why. Because I think I understand why. Because this is under implementation. I never included the implementation. So it is asking me that, okay, there is an interface thingy. So there's a declaration, there's a forward declaration, but I need the implementation. Is that what you're saying? There are no symbols in here. How? Sorry. How is that possible? We haven't had .so. So it's not a dynamic executable. And okay. Okay. So -c means compile only. Produce a relocatable object file. That's a normal HU file on a shared object. Okay. So you created an object file and named it SO. That doesn't, of course. You need a pick plus shared. So fpick and shared. Okay. Position independent code needed for shared libraries on most platform. And shared produces a shared alpha executable. So what did you generate as of now? File.so. It's a relocatable. Okay. And so this is just compiling it. We are not building the library, right? That's one thing. So now what we have to do is we have to say no, I think this is correct. Fpick, it is position independent code. No idea what that is, but okay, for now, suppose. And I have to say it's a shared library. And I have to say it's a libhat.so. Okay, so now Aha, now it is an LSB shared dynamically linked. So now if I say libhat.so, it's a statically linked. But this one says it's static dynamically linked. This one says what the fuck? What the fuck is going on here? When I say file, file is saying it's an L64 LSB shared. What is LSB? Okay, that's one thing that we should understand. What is LSB? Dynamically linked build ID and stuff like that with debug info not stripped. Okay, but in here it says it's statically linked. Also, let's look at if we first have the symbols. We do have the symbols. Look at that. So we do have the symbols, and I think the symbols of init and all that is not included because we like it's a STB style library. I'm guessing so. So because of these things, these are tucked under them. So now if I say cc main uh, main.c, of course it's going to say, hey, we don't have this thing, so we have to say include in this particular path, link in this particular path, and link lib at so. Okay, it still says this thing, undefined reference to hat image. Why is that? So should the symbols include all of these, which are like just, I don't know, interface is the right word or not. Like forward declaration is most likely the right word is C, right? I think forward declaration is most likely the correct word in C. But yeah, anyways, like I want to know why the heck you're not including. Do I have to say all of these things? I am guessing so that I have to, like, I think there's a -d flag or something like that. I don't remember. So the way to check that is I'm gonna nuke this stupid shit. And I'm gonna make it again. That didn't quite change anything. That didn't quite change anything, right? Honestly. Also, if it's including the standard library, also in here, man, I'm confused now. How does this low level stuff work? I am saying it's an fpic, which according to ChatGPT is a position independent code, but it doesn't quite fucking say what exactly is it. Even though I told you fucking explicitly, don't just give me the fix, give me what the fuck is there, what is wrong and what is correct. ChatGPT is stupider, getting stupider day by day. Okay, so your SO probably, or it is not exported. Even if you link a file name header, so you'll get an exact error, headers, blah, 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 and it will compile. That's fine. This is the something that I want to finally see. Is mark static, then it wouldn't be a linkable global. So this is not there for sure, as I can see. Or for real shared libraries, okay. nm-d lab secret. This thing, readelf, okay. The linker cannot link it. The correct way to build this would be, okay, but now also it cannot do anything. Now it doesn't have that. And what is readelf? Readelf. Display information about elf files. Oh, okay. Readelf. Readelf lib at so. Okay, it needs flags for sure. Like options are not. Yeah. But anyways, we can look into this particular tool set later on. Right now, again, you have to say lib hash. Is that? But the symbols are not exported. That's for sure. Yeah. Oh, if I say in this way, I have to move that. Okay. Of course, I don't need a shared library, but I need to know. So I want to figure this out by myself. Define at implement still cannot find the okay. So it creates something called a live hash. Okay. What if I just say main.c add.c? It cannot find it. So maybe I cannot find it. Like, am I doing something really, really damn stupid in here? Not quite sure. Saving the buffers, right? Yeah, I am. And there's hat in it. Hat in it. So, and then Contd live. Because your implementation is behind this thing, and when you build HashC, you're not defining that macro. When you compile hash implementations, okay, so I'm guessing that if you do an STV style library, you never should be compiling it down to SO file. You are supposed to just use it like that. I'm guessing. Wrong size in malloc. Why is it? You wrote. What? Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry. Okay, so that is fine. That is fine. What? But buckets is a. Ah, okay. Okay. So I get it. Okay. So my understanding here is that let's come one problem by one problem, right? Yeah, I'm old now. I'm having dead gray cells, right? So I wish I actually started with this shit way back when I was young. Okay. So now in here, Hmm. Can I just compile this? Linker file, input file unused because linking is not done. That is fine. So the question here is, how do you do this shit? So now, if I just say this idiot ChatGPT that, hey buddy, hey, I do build the flags. I don't need us using HashTable. So now doing cco main.c cat.c is still complaining with linker errors. So okay, now coming to the main point that I was thinking about is, so how STB style libraries work is that you're not supposed to, your defined implementation is the wrong place. It has zero effect. The preprocessor works top to bottom. What? Okay, this is something I didn't know, of course. The preprocessor works top to bottom. When it hits hash include, it pastes @c right there, only after c is defined. So inside it was not defined. Therefore, if not defined, it's true. Okay. Ah, finally. 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 Hmm. And also, in that particular case, I have to move this at h. Right. Okay. One more thing we can do in here is gfp make wait, run, and in here I want to look at ht. So wait a second. What? Hey yo, what is happening, mind if I find out? So, a couple of things that we learned. If we are talking about a preprocessor, it literally just expands the string. So in your final code, if you think of it as a text, it just expanded this entire, copy pasted the entire thing in there. That's what is happening. I'm out of water, so I'll just be back in a second. Why is my mouse acting up? I'll just be back in 5 minutes. I'll make some tea. Also, I think I think I'll make some tea. Yeah, I'll just be back in 5 minutes. Oh, okay. So now variable b, and let's get back gf2 main. I'm gonna break at main, and I'm gonna run. So this is this. Let's look at HT. So now this is currently some garbage stuff in here. If I go to next, it says this, and bucket says this, capacity is this. But our bucket's not initialized. Zero. Okay, suppose they are initialized. Suppose. Okay. So now is the time to implement So one of the things we want here is a hash function. Now, if I look at compare, can you exactly show me how compare works? It's like this. So it's like this. We also have to define a function which will be used for hashing, and we can say unsigned long. It's a function pointer, so maybe we paste it here just to refer this. So you have to say hash function, okay, which would take in something, and compare it with something else. And I suppose you can say in here that we can take it in with character key 1, character key. This is what we want. But also, well, I think, yeah. But also, we can also pass in the size. That's one thing. In here, we can say that int equal function character e1, character e2. So we need these two things in here. And when we are initializing this thing, how do we accept the function? We accept the function by saying unsigned long hash function character key and int equal function character key 1, character key 2. So one thing I want to see is str compare. Yes, it does have this thing, so I would also prefer to have not chat. I think we don't have to do that because okay. So we don't do that because at some point we're going to convert that to void. Right. Hat init function initializes the hash table with the given capacity, returns pointer to it. It accepts the hashing function and the equals function which will be used to hash and compare the keys to find the buckets. Yeah. So in here unsigned long hash function it takes in the key. So let's call it dgbt. Okay. York University hashing functions. So we have to work with this. So it's unsigned long hash. Unsigned long hash is this. So unsigned is 5381. In C, while C is equal to the reference of star plus plus. What do you do? Hash left shift by 5 plus 32 plus the hash let's see. Hash is equal to this. And then you return the hash. In here, then you can just say 2. We also need equals int equals char e1 char e2. Return str compare 1 2. So you have to say equals. Mm, process is key. Okay, too many arguments. Why? I just made the fix to it. So Why is it it's saying that you have a lot of saying too many arguments to function? Too many arguments to function. I feel like I am not doing this correct. So maybe I have to pass it by pointers. Function pointers, is that how function pointers work? No, that's not how function pointers work. It's not how function pointers are working, okay? So hash table, hat init, size, capacity, unsigned. Oh, okay. So now what the fuck am I doing wrong in here? Because I definitely do this thing. I'm passing the function pointer. Is there like unsigned long? Do I have to include something? Unsigned long. Include. Right. It has to be standard int. Okay. I don't have to include standard in here because it's already coming from there. And it's not a problem in here. So first we have to find out the hash function, right? So unsum long hash is equal to hash function. Okay, so you find out the key first. When you find out this particular thing first, then what do you say? Then you say that then first find out this thing. So size t index should be equal to hash mod ht. That's it. Find out the index. Cool. Now bucket is ht buckets of that particular index. Is that right? Do I get that right? Can I just do an index like that? Because let's say that I have this thing as my thing in here, and bucket sizes are this. So this is index 0, this is index 1. There's some issue with Firefox, there's some issue with Chrome. I don't know what to use every day. Like if the kernel updates, Linux system is fucked. Yeah, it keeps crashing. I don't know why it keeps crashing. I have to see why it keeps crashing. Maybe I can check from here. It's not there on the path. Okay. Anyways, so this is a size, let's say x. So to go to this particular pointer, I feel that we can directly do that. I feel we can directly do that. So while bucket is not null, what do we do? We say ht equal function. We pass in the key, which is bucket and the key equal to 0. Great. One thing is bucket previous equals null. Right, so right here we can say previous is bucket. Well, we can say this in here, and then we can say bucket equals bucket next. That's one thing we can do. Now if previous equals null, it means the pointer didn't move. Means the pointer did not move. Well, we can simply say if bucket is null, bucket equals malloc. size of bucket, and here we say in this way, right? I think right. Now one thing we have to do is the copy is equal to str duplicate of the key. Sorry, of the key. All right. Now I can simply say bucket key copy bucket. Is it value or frequency? It's frequency equals frequency. Now if previous not equals null, if previous equals null, it means that hg buckets of index is equal to the bucket. Else previous next equals bucket. Right, and bucket, sorry, table size plus plus, and we simply say bucket of frequency is equal to frequency. We can ignore this thing in here. We do that no matter what. Hat C. That's not right. So this is what we do. I feel this is what we have to do. So now can we just say we had code given the hash table so let's say the word I'm going to give is hello, and the frequency is going to be just 1 for now. And in here, let's say this is word, and the value is 2. Let's say, okay. So now implicit declaration of hash function. Okay. So I suppose in here it has to be this. So A, main, C, and hat H. Okay. So GFP main. Okay. So break main, and I just gotta run this. Aha. So mhm. So we initialized it, and you have everything else in here. Okay. So now I want to step in. If I go next and one more next, index would be 9. And then bucket with this. But if I say this, it's null. This is also null. Okay. Boom. Thank you. Index is 13. Cool. This seems to work, but one of the things I want to do in here is explicitly, I feel that explicitly what we have to do is when we are doing the malloc, right? In here, we also have to say next is null. So I feel that is also going to take care of some garbage values.